What if we told you that one of the most important commodities in India's economy starts with something as small as single grain? From paddy fields of India to millions of Indian kitchens, from our farms to market across the world. Rice is not just a food, it is a story of India's strength, self-resilience and economic growth. And this Independence Day, that story becomes even more meaningful. Hello and welcome, you are watching Commodity Today English. I am Palak Singh. As India celebrates its 80th Independence Day, we are bringing you a special story on one of the country's most important agricultural commodities, rice. For generations, rice has been the heart of India's food security. It supports millions of farmers, plays a crucial role in domestic consumption and has helped to India build a strong presence in the global agriculture market. But behind every grain is a much bigger story. A story of farmer, a story of monsoon, a story of markets and prices, and a story of India's remarkable journey in agriculture. So, on this special Independence Day edition of Commodity Today English, let's take you from the paddy fields to the global market and explore the story of Indian rice, the grain that feeds India and connects India to the world. Rice has always been much more than commodity for India. It is a staple food for millions of people and an important part of India's agricultural economy. Over the decades, India has worked to strengthen its food security through higher agricultural productivity, better farming practices, irrigation, improved technology, and a stronger procurement systems. And rice has remained one of the key pillars of this journey. Today, the focus is not just only the producing enough rice. The bigger question is, how can India produce better, create greater value for farmers, and build a more efficient and sustainable rice supply chain? Behind every bag of rice is a farmer. The journey begins in the field with soil preparation, sowing, transplantation, and months of careful cultivation. For rice farmers, the monsoon remains one of the most important factors. Good rainfall can support production, but excessive rain, drought-like condition, or unpredictable weather can create challenges for farmers and the entire supply chain. And that is why for the rice market, weather is not just a farming story, it is a market story. So, what actually drives prices and market sentiment? There are several key factors. First, production. The area under cultivation and overlap crop condition determine the availability of rice. Second, the monsoon. Weather conditions can directly influence yields and the market expectations. Third, government policy. Procurement, minimum support mechanisms, stocks, and trade policies can influence the market. Fourth, domestic demand. India's large population makes domestic consumption a major factor. And finally, global demand. Because India is a major player in the international rice trade, developments in overseas markets can influence the domestic commodity ecosystem. India's rice story doesn't stop the domestic market. India Rice has built a strong presence across international markets. Basmati rice carries a premium identity and is valued for its aroma, taste and quality. At the same time, non-basmati rice plays an important role in India's overall rice export story. From the fields of India to ports to market across the globe, India has become an important part of global food trade, and every export shipment represents more than commercial transaction. It represents the hard work of Indian farmers and the strength of India's agricultural supply chain. As we celebrate 80 years of independence, India's agricultural journey deserves a special mention. India's story has been one of transformation, from concern about food availability to build greater food security, and now to becoming an important agricultural producer and exporter. The journey has been remarkable, but the next chapter brings new challenges. Climate change, water management, rising input costs, storage and logistics, food wastage, and the need to ensure better returns for farmers. These challenges will shape the future of India's rice industry. The future of Indian rice will not simply be about producing more, it will be more about producing smarter, better seeds, modern technology, efficient irrigation, improved storage, stronger processing facilities, better logistics, and greater access to global markets. At the same time, sustainable farming and responsible water uses will become increasingly important because the goal is clear: a stronger farmer, a stronger agricultural supply chain, and a stronger India. This Independence Day, when we look at the Indian flag with pride, let us also remember the hands that help feed the nation. The farmer who wakes up before sunrise, the family that works through the farming season, the worker who harvests the crop, the miller who processes the grain, the trader who takes it to the market, and everyone who helps move that grain from farm to table. They are all part of India's growth story. Because India's independence is not only a story of the past, it is also a commitment to building a stronger future. So this Independence Day, let's look at the rice not simply as a commodity, but as a symbol of food security, a symbol of farmer resilience, a symbol of India's self-resilience, and a symbol of India's growing connection with the global economy. From Kisan to Bazaar, from farm to table, and from India to the world, the journey of Indian rice continues. On the occasion of India's 80th Independence Day, Commodity Today English salutes our farmers, our agricultural workers, and everyone contributing to India's food and economic security. Happy Independence Day. Jai Hind, Jai Kisan, Jai Bharat.